Listen up, entertainment buffs, because we have a jam-packed show for you.
We've got your weekly Hollywood news with Romelle Taday, a recap of last week's TV pilots with Ryan Miller, and a sweet adieu to Breaking Bad with a special On the Street segment with Nick Ewing and a tribute from Isaac Whatley.
All this and more is coming your way, so don't click that flipper because the real deal starts now. Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's one and only entertainment news show. I'm Kaylee Russell.
And I'm Connor Fack. Now that the Emmys hoopla has died down, it's time to get back into the swing of things. There's never a dull moment in Hollywood, and here to give you the latest scoop on all of it is Romelle Taday. Take it away, Romelle.
After 20 years of great performances in front of the camera, actress Cate Blanchett will make her directorial debut with the film adaptation of Herman Coe's 2009 novel, The Dinner. Though she may be a rookie to the silver screen, Blanchett is no stranger to the production aspect and has spent the last 5 years as co-artistic director of the Sydney Theatre Company alongside her husband, Andrew Upton. Oren Moverman, known for his work for 2009's The Messenger, is attached to write the script and will act as executive producer with Eva Marie Daniels and Olga Segura. With the debut of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. having occurred this fall, Marvel is already considering yet another spin-off from the Avengers universe. Based in the Captain America franchise, the studio is developing around a show around Agent Carter, the spy and love interest played by Haley Atwell of the titular character from 2011's Captain America. No deals have been placed for either the cast or network. And finally, community actor Ken Jeong will star in and produce a multi-camera comedy for NBC based on his days as a medical doctor before becoming an actor. Simply titled as Dr. Ken, the show will stay true to Jeong's journey. Earning his degree from University of North Carolina and completing a medical residency in New Orleans, Jeong is currently a licensed physician in California in addition to his budding acting career. And that's it for Hollywood Headlines. I'm Romelle Taday.
Thanks, Romelle. Last Sunday, the world bid a fond farewell to one of the most popular TV dramas in recent years, Breaking Bad. Although the show started out as an underdog, it will definitely be remembered as a series that went out on top.
That's right, Connor. After its previous season 4 finale garnered a measly 1.9 million viewers, Breaking Bad's series finale hit 10.3 million viewers, which is a whopping 442% increase.
Wow, that's pretty good. I'm sure a good number of those views came from Breaking Bad fans right here at Ball State. With that, here's our special On the Street correspondent Nick Ewing with what you had to say about the show's finale.
Hey guys, what's up? Nick Ewing here. This week we were reminded that all good things must come to an end as Breaking Bad wrapped up its 5th and final season. I'm out here at Ball State looking for your guys' opinions on the finale.
I thought it was really exciting, and I wouldn't have rather had it in any other way, really. I think it was a good ending.
I actually really liked the finale of Breaking Bad. I saw a couple of interviews with Vince Gilligan and the cinematographer behind it. They said that the entire time while they were writing from season 2 on, they had this ending in mind. I thought they pulled it off very well.
I thought Jesse was going to strangle himself.
Did you see the Breaking Bad finale?
I did not.
No, I did not. I'm sorry. It's so popular and all, but I don't have Netflix or Hulu, so I'm way behind with what's new and hot right now.
I didn't like the ending. It didn't make sense. I mean, the whole, it was good, but it just didn't make sense at the end. It didn't tell me anything.
All right, let's see if there's any Breaking Bad fans in the atrium.
I just like how it wrapped everything up. There's a lot of loose ends going into it.
My favorite part was the lasers, and then he stops and just.
At the end of the episode, I mean, I had no more questions. It kind of ended everything in a good way, but also still classic all at the same time. So.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Don't have cable in my room.
Oh man.
No, I did not. Behind the season.
What season are you on?
Whatever's on Netflix.
Whatever's on Netflix. Okay, good answer.
2, I think.
2? Yeah. Well, the verdict is out. Looks like everyone thought the Breaking Bad finale was really good. As a fan of the show, I thought it wrapped things up perfectly. I don't think it could have been better. Once again, I'm Nick Ewing. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nick. We know many of you are already experiencing Breaking Bad withdrawals, and we want to help you through the grieving process. So be sure to stay tuned for Isaac Whatley's special tribute to the series later in the show.
But for now, it's time for our first break. Don't go too far because we'll have Aiden Hall's Top 5 and Ryan Miller's verdict on some new TV pilots coming your way.
But first, here's the weekend's box office report. Stick around.
Never let it go. Honey, what are you doing?
He just wanted international travel booty.
That man could have had intergalactic travel booty.
The showdown between you and Nikki is all anyone wants to see.
But we won't stop him either. Let him do what he needs to.
I know you know where they are. Where's my daughter?
This is totally
bananas!
You guys, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, we'll be thankful we didn't run into a
cheese spider!
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, too.
Welcome back. We've all heard the saying that when it comes to acting, there are no small roles.
Here to tell us about a few actors who took this saying to heart and gave it their all in a small bit, here is Aiden Hall with this week's Top 5. Aiden?
Thanks, guys. When it comes to actors, they're remembered for their godfathers, their taxi drivers, their Ron Burgundys. However, every actor has a small role from time to time, and sometimes they're acting gold. So I shall be counting down the top 5 performances in bit roles. Number 5, Will Ferrell in The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard. When you're making a movie about a used car dealership, you know it's not going to be Academy Award material. However, with actors like Ken Jeong, Ving Rhames, and Jeremy Piven in the cast, it's going to be an incredibly funny movie. And yet for 2 glorious minutes, this already funny movie is graced by the beauty, nay, the majesty, that is Will Ferrell in a flashback. He appears in a scene shorter than the skits of his SNL days, but he brings comedy gold in that short moment to this fantastic film. Number 4, Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction. When it comes to Tarantino movies, no role is small. Every role is important in its own convoluted way. However, in Pulp Fiction, we were given one of the most memorable and remarkable characters of the Quentin-verse. For one beautiful scene, we're given Christopher Walken as the cleaner. His lines enrapture you, and when he leaves, you feel like he's been in the movie the entire time. Number 3, Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Invention of Lying. Philip Seymour Hoffman is a name that just screams award-winning. A man that pulls us into his characters and their stories. A man that carries a sense of true talent in every role he dedicates himself to. And when Ricky Gervais, the scorned butterball that everybody loves to hate, made the film The Invention of Lying, why good old PSH had to hop on that gravy train as the forgettable Jim the bartender. His role was minuscule, but his name will always be huge. And number 2, Mike Myers in Inglourious Bastards. Heading back to the Quentin-verse, when it comes to disguises, Mike Myers is one of the best, giving us such memorable characters as the Love Guru, Austin Powers, and even the illustrious Fat Bastard. However, when it came to bastards of a different variety, Myers donned the supporting mantle of General Ed Fennick, the man with the plan. He only appeared for one scene, and to most, they completely overlooked it. But dear viewers, that just goes to show Mike Myers is an incredible actor with a talent for personas. And at number 1, Nicholas Coppola in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And at number 1 is a true mystery of a player. He starred in over 80 films in his career and has almost as many memes as a cat on the internet. Now, most of you think I'm crazy, but I assure you, dear viewers, this man is real. Because Nicholas Coppola is the name of the beloved ghostwriter, Nicolas Cage. Yes, Nicolas Cage belongs to the illustrious Coppola family. And the only film he ever used Nicholas Coppola for was The Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where he had a very small role as Sean Penn's best friend. He was seen for all of a minute and a half, but it was still one of the first bits we'd see of a man acclaimed for his pronunciation of bees. And there you have it, dear viewers, my top 5 famous actors in bit roles. So next time you're watching a movie, keep your eye out for some of the famous faces in the background. I know I will. I'm Aiden Hall, and this has been the Top 5. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aiden. Whether it's big or small, Nick Cage really gets into any role he plays. It's almost terrifying.
But it sure makes for some great memes.
You don't say.
Moving forward, with summer finally coming to a close, a new season has begun.
Autumn?
Not autumn. I'm talking about pilot season. That time of year that brings us new shows that make us want to curl up with the blanket in front of the TV or make us wish we had stayed outside. Here to give us his reviews of some of the newest shows to hit the airwaves is Ryan Miller. What have you got for us, Ryan?
Thanks, guys. The past week has seen premieres of several new television series, the first of which is ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This long-awaited Marvel television show has finally arrived, and many Marvel fans are buzzing with opinion. In the show, Clark Gregg reprises his role from the Marvel movie as Phil Coulson and assembles a new kind of team, a team of non-superheroes. The show also stars Kobe Smulders reprising her role from the Avengers as the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Maria Hill. In this first episode, we first see Agent Hill recruit the young, risk-taking S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Grant Ward, played by Brett Dalton, into a special operation to work under Agent Coulson, who mysteriously returns after the events that took place in the Avengers movie. From there, we follow the story of a man who is a secret superhero and his involvement with a secret government conspiracy theorist named Skye, played by Chloe Bennett. I thought that overall, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was rather lackluster compared to the hype it received at Comic-Con and elsewhere. It made a lot of connections to the past Marvel movies, but it only used those references as a crutch to carry the story forward. I didn't expect a lot out of this show, to be honest, and my expectations were justified. I find it to be rather cheesy and will probably last a few seasons because of the growing number of Marvel fans. In my opinion, I wasn't too impressed with this show. It has some potential to become better, but it'll need to pick up the pace and get a stronger story arc going if it wants to be any good. If you want to catch the latest episodes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. airs on Tuesdays at 8, 7 Central on ABC. The next pilot is NBC's The Blacklist, which aired on September 23rd. To be honest, I had not heard a whole lot about this show. With so much other television news going on, a James Spader television crime drama seemed like it would be something that has been done before. I must say that I was wrong, dead wrong. This is a show worth investing your time into, folks. James Spader puts on a fantastic performance as the lead antagonist, or perhaps protagonist? You see, he plays Raymond Reddington, a notorious rogue government agent who goes on the hiatus for decades, but then shows up to the FBI's front door and literally turns himself in. The show reminds me so much of Silence of the Lambs, but instead of Anthony Hopkins, we have James Spader as the lethal weapon to use against other major terrorists and criminals, some of which he has worked with in his questionable past. He teams up with Elizabeth Keene, played by Megan Boone, a very talented rookie agent who proves herself after having a secretive and dark childhood. She has no choice but to work with Reddington if she ever wants to catch the guy who's trying to blow up DC. We also learn that Reddington knows a lot about Keene's past, which leads me to believe, possible spoiler, that he may be the father that left her when she was a child. So overall, I highly recommend getting into this action-packed and suspense-filled show before it's too late. Check out The Blacklist on Mondays at 10, 9 Central on NBC. Another pilot that aired on NBC last week is The Michael J. Fox Show, which received a lot of hype due to Michael J. Fox's long-awaited return to television. In fact, the show's pilot, Fox's character, doesn't stray far from his own life. He plays Mike Henry, a father who is a beloved local New York City news anchor who had left his job several years prior due to his battle with Parkinson's disease. It's not until his friend who works for the NBC newsroom convinces Mike to come back as a news anchor so he can stop driving his family nuts. This is one of those feel-good shows, folks. The pilot episode is enough to keep you mildly interested with some little laughable moments here and there. I feel like this is a show that probably could make it past 2 seasons, depending on whether people really like Michael J. Fox that much. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Michael J. Fox, especially in Back to the Future and even in his role in the television show The Good Wife. But I feel like this is your average feel-good family television show, where you get a few good laughs at most. His character is about average and doesn't really stand apart from your ordinary family father in most sitcoms. Personally, I probably won't keep up with the series, but if I need to watch something that doesn't distract me when I'm doing homework, I'll probably flip this on. Otherwise, if you wish to keep up with this feel-good family fun series, it airs on Thursdays at 9:30, 8:30 Central on NBC. This has been Pilot Watch. I'm Ryan Miller.
Thanks, Ryan. Michael J. Fox isn't the only TV veteran to return to the small screen. Robin Williams' new show, The Crazy Ones, also made its debut last Thursday on CBS.
Too bad their shows air opposite each other. Both look great, and I can't decide which one to watch.
Well, while Kaylee tries to work out this dilemma, let's take another break. When we come back, Kelsey Burr will tell us about a young artist from New Zealand who has risen to the top of the Billboard charts at just 16 years old, and Isaac Whatley will give a special salute to Breaking Bad. Don't touch that dial.
Glad you stuck around. The music industry has seen quite a few rising stars with unique sounds emerge over the past few months.
Here to tell you about one such artist is Kelsey Burr in this week's edition of Under the Radar. Kelsey?
Thanks, guys. A mysterious 16-year-old is rising out of the shadows and into the spotlight after her hit single Royals has taken music lovers from alternative to pop by storm. I'm talking about Lorde, whose full name is Ella Yellick O'Connor. Her fame skyrocketed here in the States, with people intrigued by a mature-sounding voice that sounded differently from what's usually heard in recent pop. Lorde represents a new direction for the pop genre, and it seems that people like what they're hearing. Just last year, the 16-year-old New Zealander was working an office job, and now Royals is number 3 on Billboard's Hot 100, behind megastars Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry, which isn't too shabby. Lorde was originally signed at the age of 12 to a development deal with Universal, but in 4 short years, she's managed to get the world's attention. In 2011, she released her 5-song EP, The Love Club, in New Zealand on SoundCloud. In July of this year, she told New York Magazine that she had only 1 digit in her bank account, but I'm sure that's changed by now and will continue to grow. Royals first hit the alternative chart on June 29th and hit number 1 only 2 months later. Lorde writes all of her own songs, and get this, she wrote Royals in just 30 minutes. In Lorde's cover story on Billboard magazine, her manager revealed she's only played about 10 shows, and she performed for the first time in the US in August. Her debut album, Pure Heroine, was released September 27th, and my guess is that it'll be as big of a hit as her single Royals. It might be a good thing that Lorde is only 16, because she definitely has a lot more success to come. This has been Under the Radar. I'm Kelsey Burr.
Thanks, Kelsey. Earlier in the show, we heard some of your thoughts about the end of Breaking Bad, but now it's time for a reflection from our resident Breaking Bad superfan, Isaac Whatley. Will his words ease our heartache from saying goodbye to Walter and Jesse?
Let's find out. Isaac?
Well, everyone, we all knew last weekend was coming, and Sunday night proved that all good things must come to an end. And that thing was AMC's Breaking Bad. This cult favorite has become incredibly popular over its span of 5 seasons, and now that it's over, I'm sure that there will be many dedicated viewers that won't know what to do with themselves. I personally love the show, and now that the adventures of Walter White are done with, all we have is Netflix to watch the seasons over and over again. Which is better, I suppose, than going out, buying an RV, and making your own meth. Don't do it, kids. Anyway, the show had an incredible run with 5 seasons, 4 of which were nominated for Outstanding Drama Series at the Primetime Emmy Awards, finally taking home a win this year. I'm sure this show will go down in history as being an amazing television drama, and the actors and actresses that have spent the last 5 seasons with the show will not be soon forgotten. Bryan Cranston's career has taken a remarkable jump forward through the show, and many of the other characters will also be remembered and perhaps even inspire future AMC series. There's already talk of another show starring Bob Odenkirk as lawyer Saul Goodman and a Breaking Bad spin-off prequel with the rumored name Better Call Saul. With this show in the works, the Breaking Bad universe won't be completely shut down. Breaking Bad has also taken Aaron Paul's career a step further. Paul, who played Jesse Pinkman in the series, has landed a leading role in the new DreamWorks film Need for Speed, which is set for release in 2014. The show did an excellent job at creating characters that viewers would enjoy seeing each and every week, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of Heisenbergs and Jessies this Halloween, and I may or may not be one of them. The idea and story of a middle-aged school teacher becoming a highly wanted drug dealer is exciting and different, keeping fans glued to the TV and waiting impatiently for each next episode. Throughout each season, fans can see the transformation that Walter undergoes, changing his outlook on life from that of a loving father to one of a hardcore criminal. Cranston did an excellent job of portraying these changes, and the writers were successful in driving the story to new places. The show's creator, Vince Gilligan, described it as a contemporary Western, and I find that kind of show fascinating and hope to see more like it in the future. It is upsetting to see Breaking Bad come to an end, but I think that 5 great seasons is better than 8 or 9 dragged-out, lesser-quality ones. We'll all miss Bryan Cranston, Aaron Paul, Dean Norris, and Anna Gunn in the show, but with their promising futures in the business, we won't have to wait long before they return to the screen as different characters to enjoy. Bryan Cranston gave tribute to the fans as he tweeted Sunday night saying, "Well, that is it. The last episode of Breaking Bad. Thank you for sharing this ride with me. Without you, we never would have lasted." If there's one thing I could say to Vince Gilligan, Bryan Cranston, and the entire writing team for Breaking Bad, it's this. You did great, your show is a success, and I'm excited for what's next on AMC.
Thanks, Isaac. Now that Breaking Bad is over, I need to find a new addiction. Not that kind of addiction.
Whatever you say, Connor. Well, now the show's nearly over, and it's time for our last break. We'll be back with our final word faster than you can say Heisenberg. Stick around.
You gotta go out there and take a beating, go out there, take it, come back to work and say, do you need me to do it again? You have 48 hours. Get us the evidence on block.
What I have to do to get out of this, I can't do it alone.
You know I'm with you.
Those are crocodiles.
You know, at the casino, when they give you chips, they say, good luck, sir.
They don't tell you that sir means dummy. And good luck means... What are you gonna do?
I had a daughter.
A little girl with brown hair. Tell her that I'm not quitting.
Now we're back. It's time for our final word. With the availability of online streaming, it's never been easier to discover new music or to listen to the same song on repeat. This often makes it difficult to claim just one song as your favorite. This summer, I quite randomly decided to listen to a bunch of mid-60s and early 70s music on Pandora. I'm not sure why it happened, but I am very thankful it did, because I discovered and rediscovered great artists like The Doors, the Yardbirds, which, by the way, launched the careers of Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, and Jeff Beck, Buffalo Springfield, and the Animals, to name a few. Now, the 60s and 70s were revolutionary, and it's evident not just in their music. From the civil rights movement to the fashion where men wore their hair longer and women wore their dresses shorter. I can only imagine how awesome it would have been to be in the middle of it all. So it is difficult for me to name a favorite song because I like so many. But if I must choose just one, it would have to be The House of the Rising Sun, made popular by the Animals. Now, the origin of this folk song is uncertain. However, Alan Price of the Animals said the song was originally written in the 16th century about a Soho brothel. The song has since been covered by other well-known artists like Bob Dylan, Dolly Parton, and Muse. Here's an interesting fact about Bob Dylan's version. He recorded the song in 1961, but stopped playing it after the Animals released their version 3 years later because people accused him of plagiarism. My favorite version is by the Animals, which has been called, quote, the first folk rock tune that changed the face of modern music. And I would be inclined to agree. Listening to the song, you can't help but dance and sing along. Lead vocalist Eric Burdon sings it with so much passion and soul, and pairing those vocals with Alan Price's amazing organ playing and the catchy guitar riff, it's no wonder why I always have this song on repeat.
That's a really cool choice, Kaylee. True story, one of the zillions of projects I have in a file cabinet at home is an idea for a kung fu / action / romance film that I would plan on calling House of the Rising Sun. Something about star-crossed lovers in a 1850s Japanese-themed New Orleans brothel, martial arts fighting, green cinematography. I digress, but it is a cool song. I applaud you for choosing it.
Well, thank you, Connor.
Like you said, though, it's hard to pick a favorite song ever, but as for my favorite song right now, it pains me to make a sort of confession. My favorite song is a hauntingly beautiful piece that recently featured in a major blockbuster film, and I love the song, but I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm referring to Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, just one of the many hits to emerge out of Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby. As sung by Del Rey, the lyrics speak of a woman questioning whether her lover will still love her even when she no longer has her youth and beauty. They've obviously done a lot together via the lyrics, and she will always love him, but the bridge of the song has her wanting to bring her man to heaven, yet the melancholy tone of the song suggests that he might not feel the same way about her. In a way, I suppose you could think of the song as speaking to a lot of fears that people have with relationships, especially in our generation. Often we get overly connected with superficial details like how many likes will my Instagram photo get, instead of bothering to build long-lasting connections with people that we meet in real life. The song reminds us that we should be deeper with our love than just surface details, and that really speaks to why love exists in the first place. But do I really think about that when I listen to the song? No. Young and Beautiful is a terrific sad song, though, and that will probably stay at the top of my charts for another few weeks.
Well, that wraps things up for us this week. Be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages for updates on all things entertainment. I'm Kaylee Russell.
And I'm Connor Fack. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.